me be honest about the J. Cole situation, okay? Um, yes, a whole lot of people that have been paying attention to, especially his last drop, people were satisfied, and those will always be, the J. Cole fans, the people that will always stand by him. But it's also kind of crazy to me that the loudest people are the people that are, that would be hating on J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like the hateful narratives. That's what's been loud about or around the whole J. Cole fall off agenda. You know what I'm saying? People have seen it to be performative. Other people have seen it to be genuine, something to, learn from. You know what I'm saying? But then at this point, as I'm saying, yeah, let me just see what it's about, bro. Like, forgive me for diving into this if you're a mad J. Cole fan. I'm just super curious at this point. Let me dive in, man.
My home is disguised. I had to argue with niggas, you pay no man. Heard me pack on you boys, I ain't telling no lie. Yeah, lie. Tell me once, can't never fool me again. Don't hate the messenger, man, hate the same.
Alright. Oh, please do not click away from the video just because of me zooming into this title. Please don't do it. Please. Let me explain why we are at the position we are at today. Okay? Finding ourselves reacting to this. Look, I feel like, J. Cole will always be the legend that J. Cole, was always meant to be. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I said it. No matter what happens, bro, right? No matter like what he goes through, what y'all critique heavily, like intensely, for me, J. Cole will always be that guy because he went on and earned that spot. Like nobody can take away the work, bro. And so therefore that's why whatever he drops, even with this recent drop, right? I was obviously on the, like, I'm a J. Cole fan. I've been a fan since who that bitch. I got that, like, don't worry about my motherfucking name. You know what I'm saying? Come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Ever since then, bro, I've been a close watcher of J. Cole's journey. You feel what I'm saying? And I know what we're about to get into is kind of stretched out. It's outdated, whatever, burnt out, whatever. But let me just like explain something, right? I want to now pay attention just for a little bit to the J. Cole negativity, to the hive, you know what I'm saying, the hateful, so that I see what it's about. Because when it comes to J. Cole loyalists, that whole energy around it wasn't as expected. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of anticlimactic, you know what I'm saying, to be honest, to be frank. Kind of anticlimactic. You know what I mean? In terms of the love, the support, all of that. You gotta be within the niches, paying attention to the most inner details of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? The whole CD, was it the CD giveaway? I don't know. Like when he was direct to consumer, going to his fans, giving away these things. There's been like videos that have been dropped of him doing these acts, right? These deeds. So shout out for that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be paying more attention to that. But then in the bigger scheme of things, bro, we know J. Cole is an industry guy. He's been part of the big three. Oh, okay. Shit. Pre the beef. Oh, goddamn. Pre the beef that almost resembled World War III. You know what I'm saying? He was part of that whole thing. So he was a giant within the industry. So, I was expecting the industry to shake a little bit. It didn't happen, bro. Right? So, okay, cool. It is what it is. We still salute J. Cole. The album is not that bad. It is what it is. Right? But then now, the crazy thing is that the hate is loud as fuck, bruh. So now it's like, yo, I can't help but, like, kind of pay attention to that. So, please, don't like, click away from the video thinking that we about to shit on J. Cole. Right? This is not that. I just want to see what the hell it's about. Like, what the heck, the sudden hate that's, like, super loud. Because, he probably did have hate his whole journey, well, majority of his journey. But it was never this loud, right? Golly. And now, I'm saying what I'm saying because now we are at a Sean C. live channel, right? For y'all who didn't peep it, for the ones at the back, Sean C., go tap in if you're interested on hearing his POV himself. But yeah, it's a changed POV because he was rocking with the whole J. Cole drop, right? But now, As per the title, he hates it. What is he talking about?
First of all, how are y'all feeling about the album almost a week removed? How many additional spins have you given it?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Let me be honest. I've given it. Should I be honest? Y'all want me to be honest? I've only listened to it like just 2 times max. Like, okay, from back to front, just that one time, right? Just to give the first impression. And then I think I just went back to like songs that I thought were cool, were more appealing to me, most appealing to me. Is You, TF Is You. That one is cool. I really rocked with the Let Out. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I would not name you 5 J. Cole tracks off of this album just because I ain't listened to it. It's been that long. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me. Yo, don't click away. Let's hear what Sean C gotta say then before like y'all move away, okay? Like, but like I'm just being honest. It was cool. It was cool. It was pretty decent, right? It was like that J. Cole that we know, right? Lack of innovation in terms of like signature sound, signature cadence, all of that kind of thing. I mean, he does experiment with a lot more singing, right? A whole lot more soft touches to the vocal delivery when it comes to the vocal delivery, but you know, so you feel me? Let's just hear what Sean got to say, and then
are you loving it? Are you hating it? I thought that I was like somewhat neutral on the Let Out because like I understand that there's like some melodic appeal that could be happening.
Yeah.
And maybe over a different beat, I might have a different opinion about that song.
Yeah.
But in general, it's like an ear killer. I scroll past songs like
it's an ear killer now, bro. I swear to God, man, you should peep Sean C's initial reaction or review about the Fall. These were different comments. I'm not gonna lie.
What is that one track, the Tupac and Biggie tribute?
Yeah.
I look at shit like that and I'm like, damn, man, I don't know, J. Cole.
Just to give you some context about the writer from Pitchfork, he ironically told fans of J. Cole that they should throw themselves off a cliff in GTA
What?
if they think J. Cole is better than Kendrick or Drake.
Oh no. You see what I'm saying? This hate is so just like amplified right now, or let me say it's intensified right now. More than before, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like that's okay to say. Like, obviously telling somebody to commit suicide is never the way.
Exactly,
but
it's not okay.
What if their take is so correct that there's no other option but killing yourself if you don't accept logic in a room? Not since the big day has a rapper's cultural goodwill evaporated as quickly as when J. Cole deleted 7 Minute Drill, a diss where he called to... You can't start the review off like this, bro. Like, oh man, like the beef has done irreparable damage to hip-hop and discourse surrounding the culture since it occurred, man.
But he can't not mention the beef, bro. Like, Cole was part of the beef, whether we like to admit it or not. At least for like 2% of that bitch. You know what I'm saying? He was part of it, and then he bowed out. But he was, so we cannot mention Cole without mentioning the beef. What are we doing?
He sent me some of the
because, you know, funny enough, like, obviously the 2 people we heavily associate with that darn beef is, you know what I'm saying, Dot and Aubrey. You feel me? And, you know, it may be easier for us to not associate J. Cole with it, but he was part of it. You feel me? At least he was meant to be part of the whole thing, but he was part of, like, you know, 0.2% of that shit.
Some of the Baby Keem stuff today, and somehow niggas were convinced it was a diss towards Drake because he called himself Boo Man. Have you heard any Baby Keem music ever? We need a cultural reset. We do. We need to get back to the...
Nah, but let's not talk down on Baby Keem, bro. I don't think I've done the Baby Keem album reaction here. I already actually listened to it, so it might as well just be a review if I'm gonna do it. But yo, Baby Keem put in some nice ass work, bro. That's some nice work right there, bro. I like that one.
Basics. We need to go back to niggas going to the store to get the music, having to build up, you know, 6 months of forum usage before you can comment on other people's posts. We gotta like take away the pay for play instantaneous
Oh, yeah.
check mark on Twitter. Like there's a lot of different things that we need to make niggas go through before they get the instant verification. That's all I'm saying. Cause I mean, this is the shit that I'm hearing from a nigga that's a writer, but it's just like, damn, bro, how do we start off like this? What about referencing some of the past work that might have been good from J. Cole?
Yeah,
Just like as an intro
I feel
to.
you. Hold on, let me just see what are you talking about though, C? What are they saying? I kind of missed it. Not since the big day has a rapper's cultural goodwill evaporated as quickly as when J. Cole deleted 7-minute drill. This where he called To Pimp a Butterfly sleepy and overrated from da 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 da. They're using current events to describe what happened. It literally, like, this literally happened though. It's not like it didn't happen though. You know what I'm saying?
To the written review. I don't think that that's a bad thing.
And I get the fact that you trying to make it be like at least shine a positive light on Cole instead of like highlighting the negative moments. But these things happen though.
Here there's a career-defining masterpiece, the final destination of 2 decades of artistic output. The fall off is mostly just another J. Cole album. I 100%. This is what I said. I stand by it.
Yeah.
I will not be swayed by any detractors or any J. Cole enthusiasts, any Cole miners. If you feel the need to mine anything, mine more depth into your brain.
Niggas love reading loud when they're struggling.
I mean, is that not the best way to put yourself center stage, is to read out loud, so that if in the event that you do make a grammatical error or you fuck up, it can be heard through the heavens? That means you're no longer hiding out. I guess I could be like as quiet as a mouse while I'm trying to enunciate and pronounce certain things and put all the information out there, but I decided to put my chest out, you know what I'm saying, and speak loud and proud. Mistakes and all. The fuck? It's like some niggas is just hoes. They make a mistake and they want to go into hiding immediately. Like, I know what type of person you are, and I know exactly what type of life you live. You're not me. I fuck up, I get more confidence to go harder. You fuck up, you want to kill yourself.
Ooh.
I think that, for all the
Yo, bro, that's just an attribution of, like, you know, the difference in different people's minds, bro, and their psychological makeup, bro. Not everybody's as strong as you. And look, man, I'm not defending any side. Yo. I'm not defending no victims. I'm not defending no perpetrators, like people who've like victimizers. I'm not defending any side. I'm just saying, like, yo, that's just an attribute of just like people who are different than you. You know what I'm saying? That can't be a blanket statement, is what I'm trying to say.
hubbub and all the release and all the rollout and the build up and the I'm teasing this for 2 and 3 years or 4 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
For it to basically be another J. Cole release.
For it to basically be anticlimactic. He has been hyping it up for years, right? Now that I'm looking back at it, since the off season. But the off season was one of his hardest ones. Off season was one of my favorite J. Cole projects. Right?
An album where he talks about the same things that he's talked about since 2016 damn near, which is why I personally feel like For Your Eyes Only, I feel like, is a much better fall off. I think another reason why For Your Eyes Only works so well for me, not that it's a perfect or a classic album, but it works so well because it gets all the ideas, in my opinion, that J. Cole is trying to get off on the fall off in a much more concise and sometimes clear way, and it doesn't have to be nearly as long-winded. I do respect some of the like singing cuts, I guess, to an extent. Like, there are more musical selections here or more attempts at trying to sing, but I don't really think those are strong enough attempts to really move the needle on whether or not you think J. Cole should do singing more. Now Cole returns to wrap his career in a bow, increasing the pressure for the fall off to right his missteps. I think this is a bad interpretation of the album. I don't think that you need to look at every J. Cole release as if he's trying to make up for the apology from, 2022.
Oh my gosh, bro, talk about it. Because now I feel like that was the expectation, though. That was the expectation. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. He better address why he ducked away from the beef. You know what I'm saying? It's like there was this sort of like an expectation. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, yo, checking out for any hint of him addressing his apology, from the thing. But looking back at it, bro, like I feel like what good is that gonna serve in terms of like his own subjective vision in what he's trying to accomplish here? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bow out. I'm trying to go away. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, bring perfection, you know what I'm saying, to this whole thing of me falling off. I'm trying to see it to an end. And then now I gotta address, you know what I'm saying, me addressing current events that just like happened, or things that are hot in the streets right now. It's like, it's gonna keep me around because people are gonna expect me to answer. And let's say I do engage with all of that and address, why I said sorry and all of that. That's gonna keep me around. People are gonna keep, probing at that shit. So let me just go ahead, just be myself, just be plain old me, you know what I'm saying, plain Jane J. Cole. What? Yo, get on my nuts, get on my nuts. Facts. So, you know what I'm saying, as I said, bro, in retrospect, I feel like I just looked at it like, yeah, you know what, yeah, you didn't even need to say nothing. But at the same time, bro, like, you gonna say something? You feel me? That it's no way that could not have been an expectation for, from people.
And I don't want to tell people to let it go, to gaslight them into not holding J. Cole accountable and not acknowledging the fact that he definitely tried to gaslight people into forgetting the events the way they happened on Port Antonio, because he definitely tried to do that. But I don't think that anytime he makes music or hops on a feature, it's in service to this idea that I gotta make up for having apologized to Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, for what happened during the battle
in 2024. He describes a childhood friend who died of AIDS by saying he ran with fruity types, dick in the booty types.
Whoa. What the hell are we reading? Trying to see, before you read that out loud, let me see if it's safe for my viewers. Golly, what is this? Hold on. Y'all know half of my screen is black, so it's gonna be awkward position. Testimony of allyship with some violently distasteful storytelling. He describes childhood friend who got wasted off of AIDS by saying he ran with fruity types. In the types, and in almost the same breath condemns the use of anti-gay slurs. The hell was people listening? Like, what was they hearing?
The same breath condemns the use of anti-gay slurs. Safety feels like a roundabout apology for Cole's embarrassingly long history of transphobic and homophobic bars, but it's well-meaning in the clunkiest, shallowest way possible. I agree. It's hard for me to take J. Cole seriously as a homophobe or as an ally. Like, because I feel like there's not really strong convictions at, like, either side of the board. I feel like they were mostly influenced by the state of our society. Like, you could... I'm not saying that nobody's influenced by society either, but it's hard for me to take J. Cole having a stance in this particular instance with anything more than a grain of salt, because I don't think that there's any intentionality, if that's the word, behind, him putting it in there outside of, oh, by the way, or maybe I should mention this on the side. If J. Cole was the type of artist to have the artistic vision to maybe try to make a point out of that part of his life, then maybe I could be like, yeah, no, like, I got you. But in general, I just don't feel like he puts in the type of effort to where him being a homophobe or him being an ally would mean anything to me on a record. It just doesn't.
What are you trying to say? Trying to say, like, J. Cole ain't built his name up to a level where him speaking on certain things would not be impactful? Like, is that what you're trying to be? Just because the nigga, he's bowing out, he's the only one that's recognized, my stay here is up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, just because a rapper gotta be overly narcissistic, man, and you know, to a point where they do overstay they welcome and just like take up space and be huge and big, you know what I'm saying? Only then can a motherfucker's words be impactful. Come on, man, don't play with J. Cole name though. Damn, what ideas are you putting in my head though, Sean C? You might be on something, but like, no, man. What are you talking about?
Who got the best double disc album between the big three? It's not J. Cole. Argue between Kendrick and Drake on that, but because it's not J. Cole. I think Scorpion, like, while it's a very long-winded album, like way longer than I would want it to be, it's enough fun tracks, at least within the first half, to either get you by or like at least make you feel like you can have a good time.
Like, Cole is a guy who's like, I'll beat everybody ass in here, right? But he's never gonna swing. That's not who he is. And I'm not shaming him for that. I'm just saying that in this album is a great example of.
I got two things to say about this though. The only reason
Wait, before you say your two things, look, I feel like, yeah, there you have it. Like, Bob's your uncle. You know what I'm saying? This is where the negative effects of, you know, the narrative around hip hop being like, yo, you have to, you know, you have to talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to like let your nuts hang. You feel me? Like, be brazen, bro. Be narcissistic. Like, you the one. You the man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that whole expectation of, oh, you trying to be a rapper. This is the life that you choose. This is how you gotta speak. This is how you gotta, you know, this is how you dominate the space. You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, you'll find even people who are not as hard, who are not as naturally, narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? Not as all macho and all, I'm really him. You know what I'm saying? They can say that. They can be trained to say that. It's like somebody being media trained. You know what I'm saying? You don't act that way in real life, bro. Like, you know, off of them stages, outside of that booth, you're not really like that. You're a softie. Bro, we've seen how Cole even preferred, like, at a time, he preferred riding on bikes, bro, instead of like buying a car. He could afford like a nice hard ass whip, you know what I'm saying? But he like preferred rolling around the city in like bicycles, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not really like that in real, but he has had songs that kind of reflected that kind of energy, right? That I'm him energy. You feel me? And then it comes back and ages like milk, bro. It ages really terribly if you're really not about that. You feel what I'm saying? If your art doesn't imitate your reality, it's like, yo, like at a point it ends up showing, dog. And then like, yeah, people got opinions like this right here.
Swing. That's not who he is. And I'm not shaming him for that. I'm just saying that in this album is a great example of.
I got two things to say about this though. The only reason J. Cole is held to this standard in hip hop, I would say in most forms of media, you don't need anybody to actually live and die by the words that they put in their art. When you see people do live like that, it's 10 times better. No matter what it is that they claim to be into or are doing. It's just knowing that there is an authentic version of someone that they are portraying in their music or their films or their photography or their, you know, videography, whatever it is that they do, however they choose to.
Alright, but look, sorry to cut you off, bro. You know what the, real quick, you know what the problem is with that though, is that now when you know, we look at things like indictment music, right? Chicago drill music, things like that, right? Atlanta music, you know what I'm saying? People, I mean, music where law enforcement can even use to investigate niggas. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like, they be using like niggas lyrics all in the name of they gotta be authentic in their music. They be so real. They be talking that, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, now you're gonna be hard and paint this kind of picture of who you are on the music, right? They're gonna, it might just bring unnecessary attention on you, because this is what law enforcement uses to just step closer to you and be like, oh, is this why, you know what I'm saying, you be running away from the tax man? Yo, is this why, you know what I'm saying? Is this why you scream F the police, da da da, because you've painting the image that you are a very dangerous man. There's been allegations around your name. Is this? It must have been you. What? Then they step closer to you, while AKA, oh no, he's not really that. You know what I'm saying? He's not really the guy. He doesn't live like that. Right? That's like, dog, what are we doing, bro? At the same time, I'm not saying any of this is wrong or right. I'm just like, yo, look at the different POVs that are produced here. You know what I'm saying?
Express. It's 10 times better knowing that they are true to the person that they describe in their art. It's not a prerequisite. But I think in J. Cole's case, the reason why it's so damning is because there's almost nothing to the person that he's built up within his music. As far as like a real world or real life version or interpretation of that individual. We got good raps with like very little in the way of action behind it. And that's really, I think, where people's core criticism for J. Cole in the whole shadow boxing, you say things that you don't do, core criticism come into play.
And I think Cole's fans assume that you either, like, that Cole's music has universality, and it doesn't.
Does it?
And so what they do is, instead of recognizing that his music captures them where they are, and that they have a similar wavelength with Cole, and that's why they like him, instead of understanding that, they insult everyone who doesn't get the appeal that J. Cole is not trying to bring. He's not making music for everyone. He doesn't want the most amount of people to listen.
I get that, though.
I disagree with that.
No.
I think that J. Cole...
No, I get that in the sense that, you know, J. Cole is a purist. We've seen that even from albums of earlier on. You know what I'm saying? He would show that he's adapting to current times when he would like switch up the vibe and just have the more hype, energetic kind of sound that would maybe resonate with the youngins of the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about material that we heard on 2014 Forest Hills Drive, right? That was like I think his best commercial albums and shit like that. So he would display that, but then he would have like heavy backpack type raps where he's like more reflective, more just like stripped down. Like that's cool though. You feel what I'm saying? So I get that kind of thing where it's like he's trying hard. Like the whole try hard kind of aspect to it is only there because of, you know, the expectation from his position. As I said, pre the beef, right? He was one of the big three, like he would say it in the whole first person shooter track. He involves himself in there, and obviously there's a certain kind of like pressure that comes with that kind of forced him to perform. You know what I'm saying? So people might be like, nah, it ain't no way he wasn't trying hard. It ain't no way this guy's just like trying to be chilled and laid back the whole time. You know what I'm saying? He better be trying. He better be producing things that would blow niggas out the park and, you know, compete at the highest level and all of that. And, you know what I'm saying? Especially talking about, yo, it's his last album since Fall Off. Like, what are we talking about? It cannot be subpar. It cannot be mid.
Would like, I don't even know if it's about like. I do think J. Cole is satisfied, but I also don't think that J. Cole is making music with the intent to keep it to his core community. I don't. I think if there were broader reach, and just like J. Cole has proven in the past that he does care about mass appeal, I think if there were broader reach, J. Cole would very easily embrace that and even start to broaden his musical horizon to cater to that. I also don't know about the narrative that J. Cole fans aren't going out of their way to insult people, but I do think they have this almost kink to like go see what people they know aren't traditionally J. Cole fans have to say about.
Yo, my bad. Just a couple of seconds, y'all. Y'all know. I got this manual way of checking my sound and my audio. Since, you know what I'm saying, the whole chat thing. It ain't no chat in here. It's just you catching this video as a posted, uploaded video. Feel me? So, just a few seconds so I can see where my levels is at. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to make sure I'm not, you know what I'm saying, clipping, disturbing the whole leveling and all of that. So, you know, so that the watch experience is smooth. Let's get it.
J. Cole's new music, because I think there is some level of validation that comes with hearing somebody who's not a J. Cole fan say that this nigga's a good rapper, but I would never listen to him again. I think that confuses a lot of them.
What you mean?
I do. And I think some of them are genuinely, like, curious or inquisitive, like, why rapping alone isn't enough. Why being a good rapper isn't enough. I think that is a very confusing criticism for the average J. Cole fan. Why you can say or admit that he makes good, like, he makes good raps, but you don't want to listen to him. You don't care to hear what he's talking about. I don't think they go out of their way to insult people, though. I don't. They used to. I definitely used to get that pretentious flair that you gotta be listening for 6 years and, you know, listen to this word with the lyric sheet open underneath a microscopic.
Look, I get old OG vibes, like when I'm listening to J. Cole when I'm listening to J. Cole fans. I get like that OG, you know, who doesn't want to let shit go, and you know what I'm saying, they're still convinced that this product right here is the best that they've ever heard, bro. Like, you know, even when shit like sounds, you know, dated and like old, you can see it's like try hard energy. You know what I'm saying? They never look at it like, oh shit, you know, let's listen to some new innovative stuff. It's like J. Cole fans give that kind of thing. But I'm not gonna lie, bro, I did say I myself am a J. Cole fan. Don't get it twisted. What you mean? Like, clearly I'm involving myself in there. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But being somebody that, like, I appreciate authentic expression of, you know, I mean, I might just want to relate with objective opinion, right? Objective, like how the general scope of things is, but like this is me admitting my subjective bias, so it kind of it's hard to just like fully share the general sentiment, you know what I mean? Some things I might miss, but I do appreciate when there is just like somebody to share an honest, you know, opinion that like covers the general scope of what it is that they're covering, you know what I'm saying? And so with this J. Cole thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am being honest when I'm saying, yo, at the same time, like, I am a J. Cole fan, but at the same time, this one was kind of like underwhelming in terms of the project. You know, I'm talking about the project. I'm not talking about like the PR around it. You know what I'm saying? The whole little beef. You know what I mean? The apology, this, that, and the third, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not he should still be popping in, you know what I'm saying? Or whether or not I was expecting that on the record, on the project. It is what it is, but I was just like listening to it as that fan that I'm talking to you about, you know, that I'm describing, that doesn't want to let shit go. Even though it might be like underwhelming, but still, yo, I'm still respect to the man. You know what I mean? Just because of what the man has accomplished. Let's not be foolish here, please. Let's not be ignorant. Come on, man.
Lens to really be able to understand the lyrical depth and weight to what J. Cole is trying to say.
Yep.
But I feel like a lot of that is fizzled out, and more of them are just looking at it like, damn, you know, the Will Smith line in Fresh Prince, where it's like, how come he don't love me, man? Like, I feel like they're constantly asking that, like, what the fuck is wrong with J. Cole? Why y'all don't like him? Kendrick fans do that as well. So Kendrick fans are really bad when it comes to the pretentiousness and when it comes to the, like, not only is Kendrick supposed to be like universally demanded, if he's not, you know, it's because of the artistic motive behind it. And if you don't fuck with that artistic motive, it's because you don't have enough depth. I would argue Kendrick fans are worse.
Like, as in, you're not deep if you don't understand Kendrick, if you don't love him, you're not on his nuts like how his core fans are.
Than the J. Cole fans when it comes to any type of criticism that he needs to receive, because he's like the
Yo, you know what question that poses? It's like, if you're a big Yeet fan, you know what I'm saying? It's like, does that mean you're dumb or slow? If you're a Yeet fan, right? Or if you're a Thug fan, like, are you a person that has no diplomatic bone on you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is you all ratchet and just like out of pocket, loud, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, that's because a whole, you know, I don't know. Like the music that you listen to, like, does that have to be a reflection of just like your character? You know what I'm saying?
Standard
That's a
for
good
a
question.
rapper, if you want to be considered an artist with like any type of artistic depth,
Yeah.
because he actually has merit to be in that position,
Right.
but because he has such merit to be in that position, everything that he does has like a level of artistic intention behind it, when some of it could just be, I hopped on this song because I felt like it, or because I thought it would be a fun vibe or some shit like that.
Yeah.
There's so much intention behind every little thing. You can't criticize anything that he does because he's already ahead of the criticism. He did it because he knew or anticipated the criticism. It's not because he made a misstep. It's not because he made a mistake. It's not because he had a lapse in judgment. It's because everything that he does is just a planned, coordinated effort to be the best of the very best. And if you criticize that in any way, shape, or form, you don't fucking get it. Kendrick fans, at least since the beef, have easily been the worst. Maybe not as bad or as delusional as Drake, but they've been some of the worst to have any type of like discourse with. I would argue since Mr. Morale, not even just because, or not even just since the beef, but since Mr. Morale, I would say.
He's running from the audience that he claims he wants. That duality is always interesting for me.
I don't think he's running from him either. Like this is an ode to hip hop. I want y'all to know this J. Cole album, and I still stand by what I said. I think J. Cole is the only artist of the quote unquote big three that doesn't think that he's too good to do the things that make a rapper a rapper.
Yeah.
I do truly believe that in my spirit. I look at J. Cole, I look at all the things that he does, I look at the way he raps, the subjects that he talks about, I look at the references that he has in his music, at least off this most recent album, and I think, damn, this dude really wants to keep hip-hop hip-hop. I respect that, I do. I genuinely respect that. If I gotta give any kudos to J. Cole, is if it be for his love of hip-hop or his want to keep it pure, I'll give him that. The issue...
That's where my salutations to J. Cole. That's the reason why I also, you know what I'm saying? I would place respect on somebody like J. Cole.
For me, like I said, when it comes to J. Cole, in that is that he doesn't take any steps to elevate it. He's such a lover of what it is at its base that he does nothing with his attempts to repurpose it. Like,
But what does that look like, though? What does that look like? Elevated? In what form? Because, like, him being the purist that he is, in terms of the sound and the sonic of the sound, like, according to J. Cole, this is where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of elevating it, putting it up there, he's part of the big three. Like, he's part of the big three, right? So, like, don't get higher than that. Like, what's higher than that? You feel what I'm saying? I feel like it's just the taste of the mainstream audience. It's the taste, you know, for this whole representation of the hip-hop sound, as per how J. Cole is trying to represent it still, and still trying to keep it pure and keep it like that way. You know what I'm saying? For the love of the game type. But it's like, yo, the taste of that, it has dried up. Right? People are scatterbrained, number one. Number two, like, the decentralization of just like what is hot. A whole lot of people, it's like it's a whole bunch of pockets of what is hot to a whole bunch of people. So even just like the concentration of what's going on with this kind of hip hop itself, it's like, yo, you know, a lot of people are just like tuned out of that. I don't know if I'm making any sense to anybody right now, right?
he'll put it on display and just give you, I won't say a carbon copy, but like a polished version of something that you've already had. But there's nothing that J. Cole does or puts out that is significant enough for you to, I guess, shelve your love for the original in order to highlight his rendition of it. I don't feel that way about anything J. Cole related, unfortunately. But it's a better version, I feel like. It's a step above what Logic tends to do, which is, you know, kind of like a little boy running around in a cape dressed as his favorite superheroes. Like, Logic's very much cosplay, where J. Cole is very much homage. And homage can be hit or miss, you know what I'm saying? I think it was a lot on the Fall Off. Yeah, see, shit like this. You're not about to pro-black me a hip hop cosplay record on his last album, his most important record, you're not about to get me to look at the fact that the person who wrote this is Asian and say, oh yeah, because you're Asian, you didn't get the fact that he was talking about hip hop, when this is still very clearly a criticism that can be levied at J. Cole, and you understand where he was coming from on this song. Like, I Love Her Again is completely fine to understand from the point of view of it being a reference to hip hop.
Yeah.
That still does not mean that the ways or the metaphors that J. Cole used aren't telling when it comes to his understanding of women. Like, both of these things can be true, and sometimes J. Cole fans can just be so one-dimensional, it's not even worth having the discourse with them because they're so infatuated with, like, the objectivity of certain parts of the music. They can't take their brain to a different POV to be like, oh, but I can see how that's possible.
Yeah.
I can see why you think that, or why this might be your perspective when J. Cole has traditionally proven that he doesn't, or it isn't the best at kind of understanding where we are societally speaking. He tends to be behind the curve. You know what I'm saying? This being a criticism, it shouldn't be surprising. If every J. Cole message is a message that you can easily get behind, this guy is being led by the world that he's documenting, but he's not a leader within that world. He's not a thinker outside of that spectrum. He's very much so a participant, which is fine, but to be one of the greats, it's like you have to be outside of that spectrum a little bit, just a little bit. I think that the No Name back.
Wait, him going outside of body to do what he did during the beef, that's not otherworldly to you? Hey, that shit was mad different. Nobody expected that shit. I'm just saying, you know. And having the quality of doing something nobody would do, nobody expects. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, that's like leadership quality right there. I'm like, but anyway, yo, shit. Don't mind that. My fault.
Back and forth should definitely be a more regrettable moment for J. Cole than apologizing to Kendrick Lamar. I think if J. Cole was gonna apologize to an artist for dropping a record on them, I think it should have been No Name over Kendrick Lamar. You listen to the mixtape, right?
Yep.
And you hear him bar up on the Money, Power, Respect record, I think. Whichever record he does, like this ice bar reference where he's like, you know, I'm getting niggas out the border. Like, social timing is everything. I feel like J. Cole is the worst at understanding where we are societally speaking. And not to say you can't say XYZ, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but it's just not lost on me that he always says the worst thing at the wrong time. Always, like, consistently. He's never a right time ass nigga, like, almost ever. I feel like as a rapper who's looked at as conscious, it would be a much bigger blow to my representation within my career. I feel like it would be a much bigger blow to that, my skirmish with No Name versus my skirmish with Kendrick Lamar, bro. Because that No Name thing underscores a larger issue with J. Cole's music at large, where it's like there's not any depth to you. Like, I get Kendrick, all right, cool. We can laugh and joke about how you don't have like the dog in you and you don't want to fight when the hands are issued to you, cool. But like your strong suit, which is your pen, your writing chops, like that hits harder to me. Yeah, and it's like I said, for some people that don't mean anything. I can get through a song no matter what. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised at the lack of depth of these songs when I'm hearing the records you've made for the past 5 years. The expectation for you to be above or beyond or ahead of the curve when it comes to concepts regarding anything societally speaking, I don't think that that's in you. You've proven it to me.
I think Cole would have done himself better if he'd have just came out with, because when did Comeback Season or whatever the last album come out? The off season. I think Cole would have did himself a favor if he'd have came out with the Fall Off Part 1 in 2023 and then this now and just split these joints into two separate albums.
Yeah. But like, what would the difference have been with that Fall Off Part 1 and this rendition of it? It was gonna sound the same. I feel like it was gonna have the same signature given the mindset of Cole, bruh. But the off season was mad hard. the off season, you know, off season having been the fall off, like in a hypothetical world, let's say that was the fall off, that would have been a much harder bow out. But that would be like a cliffhanger type of bow out, because that was like okay, to me, it was yo, he got that dog that I'm still trying to be here. Like like off season was hard as shit, bro.
Nah. Nah.
You don't see it?
Think.
You don't see it?
Can
know
you
what I'm
imagine J. Cole drop first half of this album and it's like, okay, yeah, that's not bad. It's a regular J. Cole album still, which is hilarious when you think about it. If you cut this album in half, it still sounds like a regular J. Cole album. And then you waited 2 or 3 years to get the second half and it's just this.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Quick little word from our sponsors. We'll be back, man.
Growing pains my agitation, so caring reciprocal. You my sibling just because your birth was a miracle. Even my sisters know that I'm cynical. Yeah, I know that I'm a hard one to deal with. Fighting with no weapon, I'm a carved one to kill with. Marching with no movement, I'm a start one to heal with. I'm just mad reactive, but my heart ain't with the drill